I think we're on.
We are, Jam. Away
Yes,
we go.
we are. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Hi, Mike B, Linda George. Thank you for joining. Welcome to our event. Today, we will be discussing 4 ways to speed up the approval process, and we will cover the following topics. That includes conditions, dire need situations, expedites, and how to reach your congressman. We have a special guest today, our very own Carol, and of course, Brian.
Mhm.
We will be discussing Social Security, compassionate allowance, dire need allowance, and also veterans who has a 100% VA disability rating. All right. All right. Coming right up is Brian. I'll share the floor.
Thank you. Well done, Jam. Curl, thank you for joining us
Thank you.
today. Great to
Hi,
have you
it's my
with us.
pleasure.
Yes, for those of you listening out there, Curl is the key ingredient in helping people get approved here at the Disability Digest for the last 5 years. So she's seen lots and lots of different situations that fall into people trying to get approved that have certain conditions that could be their health conditions, their financial conditions, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. But before we get started, I have a couple of interesting success stories from this week that I wanted to share with you, everybody out there. And let's see, this one is from our YouTube channel from Toledo 5621. Thank you, Brian. Always great to see you guys. I was approved for Social Security disability. I did have to appeal, as a lot of us have to do here at the Disability Digest. Thank you for all your help. I will not stop watching your most informative videos. It took me 7 months from my initial application. And although his handle is Toledo, this individual is in Las Vegas. So I share these with you as a bit of encouragement because a lot of people are out there stuck waiting. So I have another one here. Let's see. I filed. This is from COVID 2020 stinks. That's his handle. Amen to that. I filed in February of 2022. I hired an attorney to process my claim. In the 1.5 plus years duration, I had a stroke. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't have a stroke. I spoke with my attorney only twice. Let me go through that again. 1.5 years, spoke to the attorney twice. Most correspondence was simple emails, uploading documents from physicians. One thing I'd like to note, what happened with my case when I hired an attorney, is that Social Security transferred my case out of state to Dallas, which probably couldn't be worse because Dallas has got Texas has the longest backlog. So that really slowed it down. I had to reach out to my state representative, and we're going to talk about that today, 3 times to get support getting my case returned to Michigan and finally approved. So that's the short story. It ends with thanks for your videos and your support. All right. So a few snippets there for you. All right, Carl, you ready to get started?
Yeah, sure. So today I'm going to talk about the dire case needs. So, we call this as a DRND, or what we call as the description of dire need case. So, a dire need situation exists when a claimant alleges any of the following circumstances. So, the claimant is without food and isn't able to obtain it. Medical care is restricted because of the lack of resources. So the claimant lacks shelter and like all the basic needs that clients who apply for SSDI is having difficulty obtaining.
Mm-hmm.
So absent evidence to the contrary accepts a person's allegation that the person does not have enough income or resources to meet an immediate threat to their health or
Oh, you paused there, Carl. I don't know if you have a technical.
for for
I,
this for the dire case need. So all
Carol, you're cutting in and out.
yeah, yeah, we're having a bit of an audio glitch.
oh oh okay. So should I start again?
No, I think we're to the point where people have like needs and resource needs. And then I was trying to read your lips and I wasn't doing very well. So,
So people who are qualified for the dire case need are SSDI applicants who don't have enough resources to sustain their basic needs.
okay. So if somebody is like they're not able to pay their rent, that'd be a basic need.
Yeah, shelter is one, food,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
so the all the basic necessities.
Okay. Okay. Um, and are there any other like key points to this, like, you know, single parent or any other aspects to this, or it just is it the same for everybody?
It's the same for everybody as long as it is covered every anyone who is having difficulty with the basic necessities.
Okay. All right. One of the tools that we've prepared for folks that want to pursue this, like that sounds really good. It's all about me. What do I do next? So I'm going to go through an example of how you can move forward with completing a dire need, and I'll provide this link at the end. So I've created a template letter. And for those of you that are out there that have followed some of our prior events, you have hopefully learned how to use some of the letter preparation resources that we've covered with AI. And this was polished with that. But the template letter is addressed to Social Security, and you would fill in your blanks, fill in the blanks. And I'm writing to bring to your attention a dire needs situation that I'm currently facing while awaiting my disability decision claim. And I kindly request your consideration. And in the following paragraphs, you want to customize it. You want to communicate like your age, the number of doctors that you've seen, the medications, the conditions that you have, why you're not able to work. I'm going to pause here. This is what we've covered in some of the other live events, so that yes, you have the dire need, and two, you're also communicating that you qualify for disability, so they can clearly see that in the letter, hopefully. And then you also want to put in some other nuances, like I believe if you have independent children, like if you're a mother and you've got a 6 and an 8-year-old and you're about to be homeless and you don't have any food, that may provide some additional leverage to the situation if somebody is empathetic, sympathetic, who knows? All right, so this is a letter. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but I'll put in at the end this template letter that you can go through and use. Okay. So Carl, back to you. I've got a few more like questions on this. So
Sure.
we talked about what it is and how to apply. The big question is, does this work?
So I believe it's not helpful for because we've tried this to a couple of times with our clients and we've had 0% that it worked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Mm,
you know, in the networking groups that I work in, this has been discussed as well. as an ineffective way to get, a case approved. But that's the time of this recording. Hopefully, Social Security is going to improve. And if you're listening to this a year from now, who knows? Hopefully, the environment will be different. Okay, so anything else to add on the dire need?
So process. So for the dire need, what Social Security does when they get notified. So usually, their case gets flagged
Mhm.
from the local office down to the disability determination level. So in an ideal world, it should have been prioritized for clients that we've requested that are in dire case need.
Okay, great. Just a shout out to the 104 people that are out there just on our YouTube channel. You might be listening on Facebook or somewhere else. We are going to take some questions here. I'm going to turn my halo off. I didn't know I had that on. At the end of this presentation. So if you have individual questions about anything that falls into keeping and maximizing your disability benefits, we'll take some time to entertain that. So, okay, good. This has been great. Very helpful, Carl. Thank you. Thank you. All right. You ready to move on to our next topic?
Sure.
All right. So the next one we are going to discuss is a compassionate allowance. We'll go through, hopefully with your help, get an understanding of what it is. In my opinion, there is some confusion around this. People read about it, they think they qualify, maybe they do, but oftentimes they don't. So what is it? Help us understand.
Okay. So Social Security Compassionate Allowance, Terry. So compassionate allowances are a way to quickly identify diseases and other medical conditions that by definition meet Social Security standards for disability benefits. So these conditions primarily include certain cancers. So when a client says that I have cancer, it doesn't automatically confirm that the client can be approved with compassionate allowance because it would be into a certain stage, such as 3 or 4. So the most terminal case. So for adult brain disorders, also, this is also part of the compassionate allowance and a number of rare disorders. So in the screen, as you can see, those are considered for clients. Those are diagnoses that confirm that clients may apply for the compassionate
Mm-hmm.
allowance.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is having the compassionate allowance as I scroll through the long list here is one, but you need to meet the degree of severity for it. Is that right,
Yeah,
Carol?
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And that's where the confusion comes in. Okay. All right. So for these, there is a similar process for applying. And if you're using a disability representative, these letter examples, and you're welcome to craft them, but it's something that they should be doing for you. So this is a template letter that's got, the structure of it has more detail to it, where it opens by saying, I'm writing to request consideration for compassionate allowance for my medical condition. And then it goes through a fill in the blank, name a condition, alternate names, description, diagnosis, so on and so forth. When the condition started, the progression of it. So in that section, for example, for what Curl had referenced, the progression would be a stage 3, right, Curl, or a stage 4.
And
Consider,
certain blood cancers or like sizes of the tumor. I think it's all in the list.
okay. So you're spelling it out and then sending in the letter. So I had just earlier today, I guess it's an unfortunate situation. The comment from Mike that I'm going to read. I have recently been diagnosed with neuroendocrine tumor, or a small intestinal tumor. It's inoperable, and has metastasized. And I feel I have met the compassionate allowance, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, but we don't know.
I think that's neuroendocrine.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
I think that the condition is neuroendocrine.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. My message that I want to share with people is I'll use John Green as an example, from Long Island, and he had stage 4 cancer when he initially applied and he was denied. And he came to us to file his reconsideration, really sick. And he passed away before they made a decision on his case. So he clearly had stage 4 cancer, which meets the criteria, but it wasn't properly communicated in the initial application. That's what my take is. And so as a result, this unfortunate situation, he didn't get approved. So I guess what I want to make sure people understand is, again, having it is one thing, having it at the right stage, in this example of cancer, is another, but communicating it properly would be the third criteria to make sure that it stands out from all the other 1.4 million cases that are in the disability system. Okay. All right. Once again, if you have questions on this or other items, we'll be taking those in a few minutes once we go through the 2 other ways to speed up your disability approval process. Okay, Jan, you want to talk about how veterans, if they have a rating, can speed up their approval process?
Yes. So veterans with 100% permanent and total VA rating, what it is they have the disability VA rating, and that they are considered totally and permanently disabled due to a service-connected condition or conditions. And this rating entitles the veteran to the maximum amount of disability compensation available from the Department of Veteran Affairs. What it is not is 100% rating does not mean that the veteran is completely unable to work or that they're bedridden. And it also does not mean that the veteran is exempt from all other VA requirements, such as attending medical appointments or submitting to periodic reevaluations of their condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have something to add on that, Brian?
That was really
What
good.
it is not. Okay.
What it is not is it doesn't provide any preferred influence on the decision process. It speeds up your decision, but it's not, it has zero impact on the probability of getting approved. As a matter of fact, veterans that use the VA and veterans with these high ratings of 100% are difficult to get approved. We have, I want to say 20, 25 individuals right now that fall into this category that we're working directly with. So just a word of caution that I don't want veterans to get a false sense of security with this 100%. Again, it speeds up the process, but there's like 4 key things that veterans need to overcome to get their case approved that I've experienced that are different than what civilians do. So we've covered that extensively in other videos. But that's it. So let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, how you take advantage of this, right?
Yeah. But before that, I would like to add on regarding what you said. Yeah, we can, there are many types of disability programs, both the government and private, and it's important to remember that they use different rules, and a person may be receiving benefits under another program like VA disability, and still
Mm-hmm.
not be entitled under Social Security disability rules.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, in some cases, this may be true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. What was I going to cover? Oh, how to apply.
Um,
Right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So three things how to apply. Let me go first. I'm sorry. To apply for VA disability compensation, veterans should submit a completed VA form. I believe it's, I forgot the name of the form, but it's 526EZ. That's the application for disability compensation, and it's also related compensation benefits to their local VA regional office. And the form can be submitted online, by mail, or in person at a VA regional office.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
And to apply for expedited processing of your SSDI claim, when you have a VA disability rating, three primary things you can do is apply online through ssa.gov. And then you may also call the toll-free national toll-free number, which is the 1-800-772-1213, or visit your local Social Security office.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that will get somebody in the application process for Social Security disability. Of course, we encourage you to come here and use our disability approval course, teach you what to do. Learn more about that at the end. But to get the actual notification in that you have a rating of 100% is take your rating letter. Once you have applied for disability, you will be assigned a case manager that you can communicate with and add additional evidence. That's a good time to add it. If you're working with a disability representative and they're filing your application, you can simply provide it to them to get it into the case file, right? Carol, you know of any other ways to get it in? No? Yes? Maybe?
Oh, none.
None? Okay.
Just faxing in the same way that you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All
Yeah, and
right.
there's the question there, how long? It's very common. How long does the process take?
Sure.
Mm.
I mean, how
So,
long it takes with Social Security disability is just such a difficult question to answer, even with this expedite. Um, I mean, I think of people like right now in my mental Rolodex that we're working in that have this rating, and you know they're around normal wait times. So I don't know, Carl. Do you have a different opinion on this?
Yeah. So we advise our clients if it has been more than a year that their application has been pending to contact their government representative or the local congress.
Mm-hmm.
So so how your representative could help speed up your disability decision is um, they will contact the office, and then they will from there the congress would send a letter to social security, and they would advise them on where their case is at, what is taking so long for the client's case. So we have a video along with that with our clients who did the same thing. They contacted their local congress, but we don't usually advise them to do this at an early time. Like, for example, we've applied last June, and then the client would contact the office at around August, like this month.
Mm-hmm.
So it would their case wouldn't be complete yet. Sometimes it wouldn't be assigned to an examiner So if that's the case, then Social Security would um, make a decision right away without the medical records.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look up your local representative, and I'll put the videos around, but I live in the land of Bernie, and I've used representatives for congressmen from both parties, but Bernie just simply, his office gets it done. So if you go to your, if you have a preferred representative that you want to use, just go to their website and scroll around, and they provide contact information where you can call them, or in some of them they even provide forms that you can just fill out online
Mm.
for assistance. And you can use them, like I've used them for IRS related issues, if you have any. Hopefully you don't, but for Social Security.
Mm.
So we have collected several. Actually, we just had somebody else yesterday that Curl and I talked to that have used representatives to speed up the process. So I will put one of the links in the YouTube chat, which is the Greg's story. And you can use that. That has the directions and how to contact your representative. There's others, but you can just search your YouTube channel and find those. I think that covers the 4 key points, right? Thank you for watching this video about the 4 ways to speed up your disability approval process. For the letters that were covered in this video, if you are not watching this replay on our blog, then just look around for a link to the blog post that will have the letters for you. To learn more about the services that we have here at the Disability Digest, we invite you to join us as a member at thedisabilitydigest.com, or update us if we haven't heard from you in a while. By joining or updating us and completing your profile, it helps us understand where you're at in the process and how we can help you. Thanks again for listening. Make it a great day.